Welcome back everyone to a brand new Helldivers 2 video. So mechs have finally been released and they bring an insane amount of firepower to the battlefield. Being able to just destroy large packs of mobs within seconds with your minigun, and being able to destroy body titan chargers and so on with a good few placed missiles, make the mechs an absolute powerhouse of a stratagem that you can absolutely use in any situation on the battlefield. So I've been using them since they've come out, and I've actually acquired some tips that I think everybody in the community should know. So without any further ado, let's get into 8 tips that I think you guys need to know when using your exosuits. So for the first tip I have here is to use your exosuits behind cover. Now this really applies when you're going against the automatons because they're going to have ranged attacks, you're going to go against the tanks and so on. So you can easily destroy your mechs within a few shots from tanks and so on if you're not careful. Now I wish the armor was a little bit more tankier on them because you can absolutely get destroyed pretty quickly, especially if you're in difficulty 9 going against, your Hulks, your tanks and so on. It is absolutely crucial to play behind cover to extend the life of your mech and to really strategize and take out those enemies quickly without actually blowing yourself up and drawing all the fire. So do not play in open areas, play behind cover, especially when you're in the automaton missions. And when you're on the bug missions, this really doesn't apply as much just because there's not really ranged projectiles besides the mortar people that you gotta, the mortar bugs that you gotta worry about. But besides those, like I said, there's really not projectiles that are flying out like in the automaton missions, so you can kind of play more relaxed. But whenever you are doing automatons, definitely play behind cover. You'll notice that you actually will be able to kill a lot more, be able to survive a lot longer in the mechs, and be able to actually prolong the life and get more use out of your mech, considering you can only call it in 2 times. So 100% play behind cover. Now the next tip I have here is do not waste your ammo, specifically your rockets. You only get a certain amount of ammo. Now I've tried to do other things like running the supply pack to reload, calling in a resupply. I have not figured out a way to actually resupply the ammo in your mech. So if you guys figure that out, let me know in the comment section below. But like I said, don't waste your ammo. You have a certain amount. Now, specifically the rockets. The rockets are going to be your main way to deal with armored enemies such as battle titans, chargers, tanks, and so on. So keep those in reserve for when those enemies actually happen to come on screen. Use your minigun for everything else, the little armored enemy guys, the bugs, just the normal grunt soldiers on the automaton side. Use your minigun because that'll absolutely rip through them. And then when you come in contact with your tanks, battle titans, chargers, you can then let a little bit of your missiles go off to actually deal with that enemy type. But like I said, you do have a certain amount of ammo, so do keep that in the back of your mind whenever you're playing. Do not waste your ammo just going in and shooting. Just try to conserve it and really pick your targets wisely. Real quick, before we get into our next tip here, if you guys do wish to support the channel, currently the best way to do so is by hitting that like and subscribe button. It really lets me know you guys are enjoying the videos. It really lets YouTube know as well, which in turn helps me even more and helps the channel. Like I said, the best way to support me if you guys do wish to decide to do that is by hitting that like and subscribe button. All right, let's get into the next tip. So for the next tip, speaking on that same topic of actually using your rockets for armored enemies, don't waste more than 1 rocket for your chargers. You can easily put a well-placed rocket into a charger's leg to crack that armor, and then you can just use your minigun to absolutely destroy it. The minigun ammo is actually really decent on the economy side, so you can just sit there and shoot a good amount of it, way more than your rockets. So like I said, shooting 1 well-placed on the actual charger will crack its leg armor, and then you can get that juicy crit damage and that weak point open up to really go ahead and shred them quickly. And if you're going against multiple chargers, I recommend doing this as well, especially if you have multiple mechs on the battlefield. You're going to be able to strategize and really focus when you have that armor cracked off the charger to really destroy them within like a second or 2 with both your Gatling guns focusing that same enemy. Now, since we're on the same topic of chargers as battle titans, now you can actually take out battle titans really quickly with your mech. It usually only takes around 2 to 3 rockets to destroy a battle titan, depending on where you actually place them. Now, I would recommend shooting them in the face. If you do 2 rockets right in their face, it'll usually kill them pretty quickly, like I said, within 2. But another way you could do that I would have to test further to really recommend it is you could try to do the same thing you do with chargers, is shooting just 1 rocket into a battle titan to crack that armor off, and then using your minigun to go ahead and kill it. But like I said, in the heat of battle, when you're having a lot of enemies on screen, especially difficulty 9, you're going to want to try to deal with battle titans as quickly as you can. So I would just recommend shooting 2 of them into the face of it to go ahead and kill it. But if you do have just 1 on screen, you could try prioritizing and saving that 1 extra rocket just to crack the armor and shoot it with the minigun to kill it. And like I said, especially if you have more than 1 mech on the battlefield, it'll be pretty easy to focus fire with your actual Gatling gun to kill them and then move on to the next, regroup, focus on the next charger or battle titan or so on. Like I said, more testing would have to be done to see if shooting 1 rocket and then Gatling it would be more efficient than actually shooting 2 rockets into its face. But on average, 2 to 3 rockets will kill a battle titan really easily. Now, I want to say for this next tip here is stop killing your teammates with your mechs. You can easily walk over them, squish your teammates, shoot a rocket near them, blow them up, accidentally put 1 to 2 Gatling rounds into them to kill them. Really figure out, where your teammates are at, be conscious of them, and don't just sit there and be spraying everything in front of you, especially if your teammates are in the midst of it. Try to really help your teammates get out before you are sitting there launching in. And like I said, keep a conscious space around you of where your teammates are at, so this way you're not accidentally stepping on them. I know when I first started using this, I actually stepped on my teammates quite a bit, and got an earful for sure. So definitely make sure that you guys are conscious of the space around you and where your players are, so you're just not accidentally team killing them. So the next tip here we have is actually some stratagem combos you can use with the exosuit. So when you have the exosuit down, sadly when you're inside of it, you can't, like I said, resupply yourself with the supply pack or anything like that. You can't call in reinforcements, you can't call in stratagems, which is kind of sad. I think that in this high-tech, exosuit, in this mech, you should be able to actually use stratagems, but I can kind of see maybe they encountered a balancing issue, so that's the reason why they didn't have that, as an option. But if you do have your teammate, I would advise telling them to run either the napalm or the gas strike, because when you're inside of the exosuit, you're actually immune to the gas and fire damage that are left after these strikes actually happen. So as you can see, I'm going to be just running in this gas strike, chilling in it. I'm going to be taking no damage, but the enemies around me are. So you can just sit into it, and same with the actual napalm strike as well, sitting in the fire damage. You could even have a flamethrower to shoot fire damage on the ground and then stand in it as well. You'll take no damage, which is really cool. And you actually take, I don't know if it's just me, but I have to test more, but I'm pretty sure you take reduced damage from the spitters as well on the bug side, just because that is actually, a gas damage, and is not really a physical hit, so you take less damage from that. Also, I have yet to test this fully, but you can run the shield dome, stratagem, and actually stand in it to block fire as well, especially if you're doing those automaton missions, and then just sit in it with your mech and just rain havoc down on your enemies. So there's a lot of more stratagem combos that we'll be finding out here soon. So if you guys know any that are really OP and you think the community should know, let us know in the comment section below. Now for this next tip, I want to talk about when to call in your mech. Now what I mean by this is, a lot of the times I've seen a lot of people, especially today when I've been playing, they'll just call their mechs in, right off spawn, or if they drop in kind of close to a nest. And a lot of the times what will happen is you'll get a charger, especially in those higher difficulties, to start running at you immediately, and it'll just destroy your mech instantly. So definitely learn when to call in. I would say land first, look around, make sure you're safe, and then if you want to call it in right then, you can. But be in mind that you do only have 2 uses. There is a really nice global event going on right now that everybody can get it, especially with the servers having some issues, not being able to buy stuff. And I've honestly gotten 0 XP money from doing 5 missions. I'm not getting anything. So hopefully they get that fixed soon. But like I said, just learn when to call it in, just so this way you guys don't call it in and it gets immediately destroyed, and then all your hard work is all gone and you can't use that exosuit for the rest of the game, especially since you're limited on ammo. You can't resupply, and it's basically a one-time use. Definitely learn when to call it in. It's better, in my opinion, to call it in a minute or 2 after you actually drop in, rather than calling it in immediately and then having a random charger run and destroy it. Now for the last tip we have here is actually using your mech as kind of like a bomb when it's out of ammo. So I did test to see if it kind of worked in the first game, where if you get out of your mech, the bugs or the automatons will focus it, but they really don't. They just kind of leave you alone and run straight for you. So you can kind of use your mech kind of as a bomb whenever it runs out of ammo. It will do damage, but it doesn't do an insane amount of damage. You're not going to be one-shotting any Hulks. You're not going to be one-shotting any chargers with it or anything like that, but it will do a decent amount of AoE damage to the littler guys. So this way you can kind of clear on it some AoE, just run, jump out of it, and then kind of turn back real quick and throw a grenade at it to blow it up. It is better doing that rather than just dying with it, or just leaving it off somewhere. Get the full use out of it. Now you can also, alternatively, if you do have ammo still in it and you're getting swarmed, You could try to get out of it before you actually blow up, if you know you're probably gonna die, and see if you can actually conserve it, since they really don't target it. Now, I haven't tested it fully either, so I don't know if you do die, they will go ahead and target it, or if they simply don't have aggro on it at all as of right now. So more testing will have to be done there, but I could see you kind of doing that, leaving your mech somewhere, trying to pull aggro away, and then getting back in your mech as being like a strategic thing you can do as well. So that's all I have for you guys for this video. There's a lot more synergies and tips and combos to still be found with the mechs. I might even put out a solo tips mech video or something related to that. So if you guys do want to see that, let me know in the comment section below. I will be testing over the next few days, trying to figure out more tips and combos and synergies with the mechs, since they are brand new, and I'm sure there's stuff that we have yet to even see, especially since we're going to get new weapons, way more variations of the mechs, more vehicles. There's going to be so much more content coming over the next weeks. I'm so excited, and I cannot wait to get our hands on it. And like I said, if you guys know any synergies or combos that you figured out with the mechs, or tips that you figured out that I did not say in this video, please let us know in the comment section below. It benefits the whole community, and there's no reason to really keep information to yourself. So let us know, like I said, in the comment section below. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, or found some things throughout the video that were useful, or maybe something you didn't know. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night, depending when you're watching this video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.